Hello and welcome to AUC Observer. My name is Nariman Khalid, and in today's episode we have 8 different interesting stories from our AUC, combining arts, sports and initiatives. Also, we have an interview with 2 winners of the Broadcast Education Association Festival of Media Arts 2023. Stay tuned. Our first report is about folklore, which means the traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of any community. And that is what motivated some AUC alumni to revive this art with their desire to connect younger Egyptian generations with their great identity and rich culture. More in the upcoming report by Noha Saad.
Under the name of Reviving the Art, AUC Alumni Folklore Group has held its show on Tahrir campus. Hundreds of people from different generations and even big names in the theater art have flocked to Ewart Hall to remember the folklore art which they fell in love with after Mahmoud Reda's movies. The AUC Alumni Folklore Group was founded in 2013 by Pinky Slim after she found that folklore art started to fade. Pinky brings all passionate dancers from all ages to revive folklore.
To show my true identity. It's part of my identity. As a person, I like to express myself through movement. So dancing was one of them, and specifically folklore dancing because, as I said, it gathers a lot of colors from Egypt, from Alexandria, from Suez, from Saidi, from Fallahi, and this is who we are. This is our identity.
The group shared the stage to show various Egyptian dances in 14 acts, which captured audience attention.
أكتر حاجة عجبتني في العرض الرقصات إن هي بتمثل محافظات مختلفة من مصر وبتمثل الفن القديم والأغاني القديمة والميكس ما بين الأغاني القديمة مع الأغاني الجديدة.
العتبة Gazaz was a trend in the 60s, while some critics at that time found the lyrics inappropriate. What raises a question: if the Egyptian musical taste now tends to street music or mahraganat as folk music, is that a sign that folklore dances may consider mahraganat music?
لا ما أظنش ممكن يعتبروا إن ده فولكلور، لأنه في فرق بين الفن الراسخ في وجداننا والحاجة اللي هتبقى عابرة وهتمشي.
Egyptians grew up loving movies made for the Reda troupe, with their captivating melodies and creative moves. And that is what AUC alumni try to revive and preserve as an Egyptian heritage. Noha Saad, AUCTV, Cairo.
The Photographic Gallery, a special space for photography and media arts located in AUC, is hosting Egypt Press Photo Exhibition, which features 40 of the top winning projects of modern journalism created by 35 Egyptian journalists. More in the upcoming report by Reem Khattab.
Egypt Press Photo is an exhibition showcasing the top winning projects in the annual competition of national photojournalism. The competition is organized by the Egyptian Syndicate of Journalists and run by the Journalists Collective. The competition consisted of over 1,700 entries by 215 photographers. who competed in 8 different categories, such as spot news, photo story, sports, daily life outside Egypt, climate change, multimedia, and a newly added category for student work. The exhibition showed the top 40 winning photographs.
I love the documentaries the most. I think they featured people from all around Egypt, and they're really genuine and true. They have different stories, and it's really eye-opening.
The exhibition taking place in AUC Photographic Gallery opened on the 17th of February, with an opening event in which photographers and AUC faculty, staff, and students attended. It was a chance for the AUC community to meet with the awarded photographers.
Students, professional photographers are able to display their work through the eyes of photography. We're able to see not only a very diverse culture, but how we are all connected. What is our shared humanity? And these images certainly depict a shared humanity. And AUC is contributing greatly to helping not only our students showcase their work, but it also allows the AUC community as well to see and witness just how important these images are.
Many faculty attended to prepare for students' visits to the gallery. The AUC community was socializing and exchanging ideas while refreshments were served. The photographic gallery will host a Q&A session with the photojournalists, which will be held on the 9th of March from 10:30 to 11 a.m. The exhibition will last till the 23rd of March.
To improve sports activities at the AUC, the Office of Athletics organized the Bike Polo Festivals, hosting the Cairo Bike Polo team, the first bike polo club in Egypt. What is the bike polo and what are the upcoming activities of the Cairo Bike Polo team at the AUC? We find out in the upcoming report by Abdullah Hussein.
The American University in Cairo organized the first bike polo festival at the university. It hosted the Cairo Bike Polo team, the first bike polo team in Egypt to promote the sport among students. The event started with opening a bike polo court and the team's coach explained the rule of the game to the audience.
Each team composed of 3 players. Each player has a mallet to control and pass and shot the ball.
Then, a friendly match started between 2 teams of Cairo Bike Polo Academy players. To encourage students to join the sport, the coach invited them to practice the sport at the court.
It was kind of difficult in the beginning, but they taught us some skills, and they taught us how to ride the bicycle and how to control the ball at the same time, which a skill by time I guess I would be better at, and I'm interested to join the team.
In bike polo, 2 teams of 3 players compete to score the most goals during the 12-minute game. The game starts with each team's player behind their net. Players can score when they get the ball across the goal line by hitting it with the narrow side of the mallet head.
Polo is a very, very old sport. It has been played since the 2nd century. Polo that is on horseback, not on bicycle. And here in Egypt we've been playing since the 13th century. And so it continued playing until now on the different formats and so on and so forth. Now bike polo, it's fairly new, and it's an offshoot of the initial polo.
The AUC is ready to provide the needed training and equipment to students who are interested in the bike polo.
I think it was a fun day. We agreed with the Federation for the Bike Polo Federation that they will provide for us. They will get the equipment and they will provide a coach for a once a week training session, Okay, and then we'll take it from there and see how many people will be interested in joining.
The more interested students in the bike polo, the more likely to have the first bike polo team at the AUC. The American University in Cairo hosted the national bike polo team to promote the sport among its community and encourage more students to join sports activity. Abdullah Hussein, AUCTV.
The student union at the American University in Cairo conducted the semi-finals of its talent show to showcase and explore talents at the Gardens on the 8th and 9th of February. This event demonstrated how participants benefited. So what are those benefits and how can they be maximized? More by our reporter Ghada Hashish.
Among all talent showcasing and exploration methods, talent shows offer their participants many benefits other than entertainment. An example is the talent show held by the Student Union at the American University in Cairo, which included many talents in singing, acting, poetry, and more.
بسببكم الجهل في بلدنا زاد ومعاه زاد الفساد.
أنا خابر زين صنفك وأمثالك.
اتعلمت في تالنت شو، يعني دي خبرات طبعا اكتسبتها في تالنت شو، وتعليقات طبعا الحكام أكيد. في بقى المستوى الاجتماعي أصدقائي طبعا أنا مبسوطة جدا، وتعرفت كمان على ناس هنا في AUC، يعني لا اكتشفت علاقات يعني كويسة جدا بجد، وانبسطت جدا معاهم.
I learned to be more confident and singing in front of many people. I learned that performance is important and to move more on stage and sing the more cheerful songs.
These benefits are maximized through the organizers' efforts that aim to enhance the participants' experience.
It's accessible for more people, as in we don't have major restrictions for the talents that we decide to take in. We have a lot of talents that apply in the recruitment phase, and also you have people who give you the workshop who also have expertise on our choreographers and actors and stuff.
In addition to that, there are different expert judges for every round, which enriches the feedback given, and their advice helps to improve the overall talent show experience.
الحاجة اللي احنا we can offer it more is more exposure، ان انا اقدر احطه على platform، اقدر الريورد بتاعته هو اكتر حاجة هيبقى عاوزها is exposure، فالناس تقدر تشوفه، لان انتي as artists you need the audience.
قد كده بس جبار وكارما.
The presence of the audience is important. That's why the event was open for fans who cheered for their favorite talents and enjoyed different activities. The AUC Talent Show demonstrated that talent events go beyond mere entertainment and combine fun with learning and development, creating a unique experience for all participants. Ghada Hashish, AUC TV, Cairo.
Next is a band led by a woman who took it upon herself to revive the flute instrument. Flute and Bow performed an evening of tango nostalgia, featuring well-known pieces performed in an unusual instrumental style, taking the listeners on a unique journey with the flute. Flute and Bow is a unique formation founded by an award-winning flutist, Rania Omar. She earned a first place in a music contest organized by She Arts Festival that took place between the 30th of September to the 4th of October 2022 at the AUC Tahrir Cultural Center. She brilliantly displayed her dedication and resilience to reviving the flute instrument during the rehearsals for her first performance in 2023 at the center after winning. The Tahrir Culture Center is located in the iconic AUC Tahrir Square campus. Its mission is to spread, create, and preserve culture and art. It made a significant success when it comes to supporting female musicians and reviving the flute instrument.
المسابقة أنا عرفتها بالصدفة عن طريق الفيسبوك، لقيت إعلان نازل وشدني قوي فكرة إن في مسابقة قايمة على المرأة، يعني في مجال الفنون عامة، فحبيت إن أنا أقدم فيها. ما كانش في دماغي أي حاجة خالص غير إن أنا عايزة أعمل زي حفلة حلوة، يعني أنا جاية أقدم حفلة حلوة، ده كان بس في دماغي. ما كانش في دماغي خالص إن أنا ممكن أكسب الجايزة الأولى، وانبسطت جدا ان انا شاركت في حاجه زي كده. يعني فلوت اند بو بدا في 2017. فكرتها ان انا كنت عايزه الناس تعرف اكتر آلة الفلوت، ده اللي كان في دماغي. احنا كلنا تيم وورك، يعني هي فلوت اند بو احنا تيم وورك. ممكن الفلوت هو آلة سولو، بس كل عضو من الباند هو اساس وعمود مهم. الهامي جه من دكتورتي الدكتوره ايناس عبد الدايم، وزيره الثقافه السابقه، هي اللي حببتني اكتر في آلة الفلوت. الاقبال الحمد لله ابتدى يزيد عن الاول كتير، وانا مبسوطه بده، مبسوطه ان في ناس بتيجي تتفرج بس على مجموعه بتقدم موسيقى بحته، مفيش غنى.
Rania is a passionate flutist who managed to make music lovers fall in love more with the flute by transposing Oriental compositions, in particular tangos and dance music, onto flute, giving it a new and very different color to the known works. Nariman Khalid, AUCTV. As cities count for up to 70% of global carbon dioxide emissions, which are harmful to both the planet and the residents, the AUC is determined to grow and expand its green areas to help regulate the urban temperature and have a positive impact on climate change. We find out more in the upcoming report by Ali Aurabi.
Gardens are said to become increasingly important in the future. They can help maintain biodiversity and they can remove carbon dioxide emissions from the atmosphere. As the impacts of climate change make themselves more apparent, the positive impacts of gardens will become even more important. In AUC, the green areas inside the campus cover over 60 acres of gardens with over 754 citrus trees, 115 mango trees, 147 olive trees, 1,127 date palm trees, and 32 grape vines.
النباتات جزء مهم جدا من اي نظام بيئي. النباتات غير انها يعني طبعا البند الاهم في النباتات هي عباره عن تنقيه الجو من ثاني اكسيد الكربون وامداده بالاكسجين. تمام. النقطه الثانيه هي بتبقى برضو مأوى للحيوانات الاليفه ومأوى للطيور والحياه النباتات في اي مكان بتعمل حياه بيئيه كامله.
A welcoming environment is guaranteed for different species of birds by preserving natural habitats and avoiding harmful chemicals on campus.
كل سنة بنعمل عملية تقليم للشجر، إن هو نساعد إن الشجرة إنها حافظة على كمية الخضار بتاعتها وترمي إنتاج معانا كثمرة، وتحافظ على البيئة، على إن هي بتاخد الهالك من الأكسجين وتدينا أكسجين تاني جديد.
The edging process is one of the steps used by AUC technicians as a way of giving lawns an extra dimension of a professional-looking addition to any landscape.
بعد ما بنخلص قص بنلم ورق الشجر والتقليم والمخلفات بتاعة الشجر كلها بنجمعها في مكان، بندرسها على مكن وتتعمل كومبوست. الكومبوست ده اسمه عضوي بيرجع تاني نسمد بيه الأشجار والزهور والحاجات بتاعتنا اللي موجودة جوه الجنة.
Workers collect plants residues to send them to specialized technicians who later transform them to the compost pile for composting. Final compost product is full of good nutrients helping in plant growth and can be used to fertilize plants, amend poor soil, and aid in water retention. AUC aims to grow and expand the green areas on campus in order to accomplish environmental sustainability. This was Ali Arabi reporting to you, AUCTV, Cairo.
The Cairo Photo Week is the biggest photography and image-making festival as it aims to expose the art of photography from Egypt and other countries all over the world. The exhibitors revived the raw origin of the photo before the time of social media. More in the upcoming report by Marina Salema.
With the theme of Back to Raw, the third edition of the Cairo Photo Week is back to downtown. 2023 edition will host plus 100 keynote instructors and speakers from Egypt and all over the world. This edition will focus on reconnect with the origin of the photographic practice as applied to so many contexts, formats and genres.
This edition have had a lot of workshops, around 10 workshops. For the talks, we have different variety of talks. Could be NFTs, could be fashion, could be advertising, cinematography, videography, all kind of genres that's related to photography.
Hence, the word raw is the same, metaphorically, not literally. The origins that have been alienated over the past few years because of the invasion of social media as an alternative platform, a fast photo trend that lacks the basics of the craft.
That's what they considered. Once the equipment comes down, then you got paid.
The Tahrir Cultural Center is hosting today a fashion production workshop that's one of a group of talks, exhibitions, and discussions in the Cairo Photo Week with the theme of Back to Raw. It's a festival dedicated entirely to the image industry in Egypt and the region and hosts more than 100 speakers in a variety of local and international photographers between 8 and 18 February. This is Marina Salema, AUC TV.
The Coptic Church has a rich history and played a significant role in evolution of Egyptian culture. More in the upcoming report by Hamza Awad.
The Sociology, Egyptology and Anthropology department at the School of Humanities and Social Science at AUC organized a lecture in Coptic monasticism and monastic arts, hosted Dr. Mary Kobalian, Professor of Tourism and Guidance at Show1 University. The lecture discussed the history of Coptic artists in many archaeological landmarks throughout Egypt, extending from Upper Egypt, Central Egypt, Cairo Delta, and the Red Sea. During the lecture, Dr. Mary referred to many influential figures in the evaluation of Coptic monastic arts, such as Saint Bartholomew in Najah Hammadi in Upper Egypt and Saint Anthony in the Red Sea. Dr. Mary also pointed to the role played by monks in developing the arts, beside their spiritual role, but also had other culture and artistic role within the society.
So we can see that, for example, a Coptic artist, he finished working in the church and then he went and worked in the mosque. For example, we have a beautiful column capital, which is nowadays on display in the Coptic Museum. We have the similar one next to the mihrab in the Mosque of Ahmad ibn Talon, the beautiful basket-shaped column capital. Here we can see beautiful painting surrounding the two important saints, Saint Bishoy and Saint John the Little. And the architecture, it's Islamic. and you can find it in the arcade of the mosque.
I really enjoyed this lecture and I found it very interesting, but that was because I'm an enthusiast of Coptic art and the heritage of the Coptic Church itself. And also because I also feel that the heritage of the Coptic Church hasn't been getting much spotlight before, but thankfully as of late it's becoming more and more appreciated.
Hamza Awad, AUCTV, Cairo.
The achievements of the Kamal Adham Center students continue. Up next is an interview with the latest BAA winners. We are delighted to interview two graduate students from the Kamal Adham Center for Television and Digital Journalism class of 2022-2023 who have won the Broadcast Education Association's BAA Festival of Media Arts, a student competition 2023. First, I'd like to welcome Mirna Abu Saoud, who won the first place for her documentary, Golden Fingers. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Nariman. The pleasure is mine.
Also, I'd like to congratulate and welcome Gehad Aissam, who received an award of excellence in the documentary category for her film Kursaya People. It's a pleasure having you.
Hello, Nariman. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My first question is for Mirna. What inspired you to make this documentary, and who are the people with Golden Fingers?
Okay, so firstly, I really wanted to do a documentary about women empowering. So I searched a lot, and I wanted to do something about handicrafts in specific. So when I searched, I knew that the record making in Egypt is very well known, and that there is a village in Al-Fayoum called Al-A'lam village. It's very well known in Al-Fayoum, and all the women work in that village, and they work in rack making. So I went there and I interviewed the people. I interviewed 5 women, a family consisting of a mother and then her daughter and her sister-in-law. And I interviewed the daughter of Al-Hagga Kamla, who is like the master of teaching all the women the rack making. And I also interviewed like a 70-year-old woman who worked since she was like, I think 5 years old or something. It's mainly about the difficulties that they face in that village and how they worked in it and what they inherited from their work. And that's basically it.
Thank you, Mirna. Gehad, you chose a brilliant angle of the Kursaya that included sustainability in a struggling area. Could you elaborate more on how did you choose this angle?
Actually, I know about Kursaya from the foundation Very Nile. It's a foundation, a non-profit foundation that works mainly on recycling the plastic waste and cleaning the Nile to make products out of those recycled material. And when I went to Very Nile, I found that all the people who support and work in Very Nile are people from the island called Kursaya in the middle of the Nile. So I wanted to know more beyond those people and beyond this island, and know exactly how do those people think, how they feel, how they live, and how those like very primitive people and very primitive life can be very positive and work in such a sustainable project and help the environment. So I went there and started to scout and know more about the real people of the village. To find out that the village is divided into people who work in fishing and other people who work in farming. From there, I got the idea of digging deep into the people of Kursaya specifically and talk about how those people can be very positive to the environment.
Thank you, Gehad. Mirna, how long did it take you to shoot this documentary, and what struggles did you face while shooting?
Actually, I shot it in like 2 days. The first day I went on a Saturday, and I didn't plan like for any questions or anything or to interview anyone. I just planned to, film the village itself and to do some scouting, to get to know people and to know more about the record making in Egypt and in Fayoum specifically. And then the second day was mainly to like interview people and so on. However, let me tell you that the challenges that I faced was during the scouting, because mainly when I went on a Saturday, I didn't know that that day was their day off. It's like their only day off. That was Saturday. So when I went there, I didn't find anyone. Yani everyone wasn't there at all. So I tried to ask people in the streets, and I told them, do you know anyone who do like record making or anything? And they were like, no, everyone here is in their homes. Like, it's a day off. So I started like knocking on their doors and asking them, can you please like tell me, I want to like interview people, I want to know more about this profession. And then I started to know that there's like Hagga Kamla, that woman who's like, as I told you before, she's the master, she's the one who taught everyone in the village. So I asked about her, and then someone gave me her contact in the street. And then I called her and she said, no, I'm in Cairo, I'm not in Fayoum, you can call my daughter. So I tried to search for her daughter, and then...
This is so stressful. Like,
yes,
I can't believe that you went through all of this. Like, I would cry if I...
Yes, it was very stressful, because like I traveled for like 2 hours or something, driving, and then I didn't find anyone to interview, or even I didn't want to interview people at that moment. I just wanted to know more about this profession. So when I went to Asma Hashim, who's the daughter of Al-Hagga Kamla, I tried to talk to her and so on, and then she told me, and then I told her actually that I want to interview her, I want to schedule a meeting. So she told me, actually, I don't have time. What you can do right now is to interview me right now. And let me tell you, I had the equipments, but I didn't plan like any questions or anything to say. So I was like, everything was on spot, and I interviewed her on spot. And then I interviewed I interviewed another woman who's like 70 years old. I found her by chance on the street, and she was like the only one working. And so yeah, I interviewed her too, and that was basically it. Yeah.
What's inspiring is your persistence to shoot this film.
Yes.
Yeah, you really believed in it.
Yes, it was very interesting, and I liked the angle itself. I like that everyone in that village work, and they're all women who work in that village. So yeah, I really...
It was amazing. We all loved it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Gehad, the documentary made us feel how people there are satisfied and happy with their life. What's the most inspiring message you get from there?
Actually, that was the first feeling I got once I stepped into the island. I felt how people are very serene. You know, when we always say, I wish I could live on an island, they actually feel the feeling of living in an island, isolated from every catastrophic life out there in the country or in the city. So they're actually people with very limited resources, but they have this feeling of satisfaction, and they're content with whatever they have, and they think positively of their lives. All they want, or all what they need, is having a family and living peacefully without any problems or any struggles. They don't think of any materialistic things in life. So,
and they also have a huge part when it comes to saving the environment.
Yes, of course, and that's an amazing thing. Yani, out of all this limited resources life, they still have this positive mindset, and they actually contribute to the environment and to the society. Actually, maybe more than people who could have a higher life or a higher education. And that was very, very inspiring to me, to see those people having very limited and primitive life, and still they have a positive impact on our society.
Thank you, Gehad. Mirna, your story is about women's empowerment. What's the most inspiring story you found there?
Actually, there's nothing I can say except for the fact that I found everything interesting, and everything was really impactful. For me, when I found that the girls work from the age of 5 years old, and they go to school at the same time, and they pay for their own like equipments, their own tools, their own notebooks and pens and pencils, their own lessons. It was very interesting for me to know that, because they're like very, very young. And the other thing was that all the women in the village work, and you know, we have this stereotype where like women in the villages, they do not usually work, they stay at home, or they can help their husbands in like farming and so on. But the thing was that the women in that village, they all work, and the ones who are unemployed are the men. So the women are the ones supporting their families, and they're the ones who are like paying the tuitions for their kids and so on, and getting food for their homes. So yeah, that really interested me a lot.
Very inspiring. Gehed, what were the challenges of making this film?
Actually, the most challenging thing was that I had a very limited time frame to shoot this story, because the contact people who were involved to help me get into the island and know the people were busy in COP27 back then. And then when they came back, I had to wait for them until they come back from the COP27 event. When they came back, they were having corona, so I had to wait for them until they get well. And that really limited my time. I had to go shoot before the deadline of submitting for my first viewing. That was really stressful, but at the end, thanks God, alhamdulillah, things went well.
That was very stressful.
Yes.
Mirna, I want to ask you about how did you manage to make the women comfortable enough to take part in your documentary?
Actually, that was not easy, and I remember that when I went to the center after I filmed everything, I told my classmates that this documentary is like, I don't know what to do, because the women didn't want to talk. They were scared of the cameras, and they were scared to be like exposed or anything. So I had to like chat with them first and talk to them, and share some private things about me so they can feel comfortable and share things about them too. At first it wasn't easy, however, when you try to talk to them step by step, it became easier. I remember actually I wanted to interview like a 20-year-old girl, and she's in nursing school, and she was okay with it. However, she was like a little bit nervous. But then when after everything was like set and I had the cameras on and everything, her family came and they're like, no, don't film with her. Now you're in a nursing school. It's not good to know. It's not good for people to know that you work in bracket making. Yeah, your friend's gonna bully you and stuff. So they were not comfortable to talk at first.
This is sad, because those people actually are reviving the handicraft, and like they are exporting their stuff abroad, like in Belgium and some other countries when I saw in your documentary. So I think they all should be proud of what they are doing.
Yes, however, they get like a very little amount of money. So that's why they feel like it's not a very good handicraft for them, because yeah, they inherited that handicraft from their grandmothers and so on. However, they don't get like enough income. So they feel like it's not good to say it out loud, especially if you're well educated and you are in like in university and so on. They feel like, no, we shouldn't say it.
We're all glad that you got to talk to some of them, and you came out with this amazing documentary. We all loved it. Gehed, you stated in the film the difficulties and obstacles the Kursaya people face. Do you believe that the main purpose of making documentaries is stating the difficulties of the humanitarian stories that you are highlighting?
Yes, of course. I believe that media is there to shed light on everything, not just positive stuff, but also things that need improvement, things that need more awareness, things that need people to focus on and know other stories and dig beyond the superficial image of any community or any society. So yes, documentaries are there to not just to show the good things, but also the things that could be improved or could get us to a better place.
Thank you, Gehed. Mirna, the process of filming documentary needs a lot of patience. What kept you motivated?
The story itself, because I like all the stories about women empowering, and I really wanted to empower women and tell them that you can do this, you can be the one supporting your family. And there are like this type of people who are women and supporting their families instead of the men. And the fact, like, we usually also know that the children beg in the streets and they don't usually go to school whenever they work. However, in that village specifically, the children go to school and they work at the same time and they pay for their own stuff. So that inspired me personally. So I wanted to inspire others and tell them that there's like this kind of people and you need to see them everywhere.
Amazing. Gehed, you are a former pharmacist who quit her job to start her career in media.
Yes.
How do you feel after winning the BEA award? Did you see yourself there?
Yeah, I feel very rewarded. Actually, I feel very rewarded that all this hard work and this hard decision that I made paid off at the end. Yeah, I wasn't expecting at all to win this prize, but all of what I wanted, my focus was on doing something good, because I put all my passion in this studies. Yeah, I was very interested in all what I'm learning here in the Adams Center, and I wanted to show at the end like a full result of all what I learned across the 2 years of the masters. So all what I wanted to do is do something very good that I would be proud of and make the Adams Center proud of. But surprisingly, I also got the reward, and that was an amazing surprise and amazing news for me.
After graduating, I want to take a word from both of you to Adams Center, starting from Myrna. I want you to say something for Adams Center.
Yes, of course. I really want to thank the Adams Center so much, and Dr. Hussein Amin and Hagar Atz, because literally they are the ones who supported me all the way, and they motivated me in that story, and even in choosing the story itself. Also, the Adams Center provided me with the equipments, with everything. The professors that we have are very well equipped with the knowledge and with the experience in their field. From the script writing to video editing to the filming, everything was really on point, and without them we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't have won the prize, of course.
Thank you, Mirna, again.
Yes, exactly like Mirna said, yani I feel very grateful and very thankful and beyond thankful to the Adams Center to all what they gave me, the knowledge, the technical training, the hands-on experience, all the resources that are always available for us to use, the dedication of the whole Adams Center team, including Engineer Rania, Hussein, Muhammad, and even Am Saeed, and everyone was always there for us to help us. And of course, on top of them, Professor Hussein Amin, and with the assistance of Hagar, they were always there to guide us, to motivate us, to tell us our weaknesses so we can improve them. And also all the rest of the faculty, like Mirna said, all the courses that we took added and built up on us to be at the end qualified people graduating from Adams Center. So thank you very much for everything.
It was a pleasure having you ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and see you next week.